Hello students, and welcome to the new lecture session. Myself Shankho Ghosh, Assistant Professor of Automobile Engineering Department at Dr. Sudhir Chandra Sur Degree Engineering College under the JIS group. Today we will discuss on a new topic, that is codes, standards, specification and the procedure. This topic is taken from the module number 11 and in the title of Common Application of NDT. This topic is taken from the subject of non-destructive testing and application. This is the 7th semester automobile engineering students subject and the subject code is AUE 705A. The objective of today's class is to understand about the various codes which we used for the NDT test, the standard, the specification and the procedure. Those are helps for the NDT testing. So students, let's start the today's class on codes, standards, specifications and the procedures. Let's start with the introduction. The modern concept of the quality control states that in each and every activity of the organization, there are certain elements which affect the quality of the product cycle. Therefore, it is essential to identify these elements. It is essential to identify these elements and control them for ensuring the quality. The development of an organizational structure is needed to receive, analyze and disseminate the information on quality for its improvements. If these activities are carried out routinely and actions are taken from time to time to remove the deficiency in the quality noticed at any stage, there would be a continuous improvement in the quality of the product that is delivered to the customer. So student, if these activities are carried out routinely, periodically, and the actions are taken from time to time to remove the deficiency in the quality notice at any stage, and there would be a continuous improvement in the quality of the product that is delivered to the customer. However, such an improvement in quality is sustained only when the quality control activities are carried out in accordance with the written procedures. These procedures are issued by a standardized organization. Non-destructive testing or NDT is employed for assuring the quality. The basic objective of the NDT of materials and the structural components is the assessment of their healthiness through detection of defects or disorders that may lead to premature failure. The basic object of NDT of the material and the structural components is the assessment of their healthiness through detection of the defect or flaws or the disorders that may lead to premature failure. The use of NDT in industry depends on the standards. The standards are used to ensure the reproducible results during the inspection or the testing, no matter when, where, or how conducts the examination. The main thing, that is NDT in industry, depends on the standard. These standards are the used to ensure the reproducibility result during the inspection or the testing, when, where, or how the inspection or the testing is conducted, that doesn't matter. The standards also help to compare. Standard also help to compare the results and to take decision on acceptance or rejection. Non-destructive tests or NDTs are specific for a given application and selection of the equipment to accomplish these specific needs, which is based on the specification. At the time, capability of one test overlap with those of another. It is also true that no single method is capable of revealing all surface and subsurface discontinuities in all types of materials. For this reason, it is sometimes necessary to use a combination of tests to obtain complementary information and thus helps in complete evaluation of the quality of the component. As for the NDT testing, no single method is capable of revealing all the surface and the subsurface discontinuities in any type of material. Due to this reason, it is sometimes necessary to use a combination of tests to obtain complementary information and thus helps in complete evaluation of the quality of the component. Specifications or the procedure indicate when and what NDT method should be applied. What is the intent of NDT and what are the acceptance limits? The documents containing written procedures. The documents containing the written procedure which is used for the quality assurance activities are classified into codes, standards, specification and procedure. So student, let's start with these codes. Code is a comprehensive document. Code is a comprehensive document which is relating to all the aspects like design, material, fabrication, construction, erection, maintenance, quality control, as well as the documentations for specific industrial components like pressure vessel, aircrafts, etc. So students, code is a comprehensive method which is related to all the aspects like design, material, fabrication, construction, erection, maintenance, quality control, as well as the documentation for the specific industrial components like the pressure vessel, aircraft, etc. So these codes are prepared by professional bodies or the government agency for a specific subject. For some of the activities like design, requirement, material qualification, NDT, etc., codes may refer to standards which are independent and parallel documents. Various types of codes are available. There are various types of codes are available, like Indian Power Boiler Code, Indian Power Boiler Code, ASME Boiler, and Pressure Vessel Code, etc. The adoption of the codes by various industries and their effectiveness in reducing the human casualty due to the accidents is widely recognized. The ASME, or the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. This ASME boiler and the pressure vessel code is an important code. This ASME boiler and the pressure vessel code is an important code which was established by a committee set up in the year of 1911 with the members from government, utilities, insurance companies, and the manufacturers. So in the year of 1911, a committee with the members those are taken from the government, utilities, insurance company, and the manufacturers. This committee established a firm, that is ASME, or American Society of Mechanical Engineers, who build up a code for boiler and the pressure vessel code. The ASME boiler and the pressure vessel code has 11 sections which is dealing with the various subjects. Among these sections, section 5 deal with NDT. So ASME boiler and the pressure vessel code has the 11 sections with dealing with the various subjects. Among these 11 sections, only section 5 deal with the NDT, or non-destructive testing, which is divided into the subsection A and the subsection B, where the subsection A contain the detail on use of various methods of NDT, where the subsection A contains the detailing on use of various methods of NDT, and subsection B, which deals with the various standard practices of testing. One of the features of the ASME code is that continuous improvement based on the experience gained in attempt by issuing revision half yearly, that is the summer addenda and the winter addenda. Any questions about interpretation of the rules may be submitted to the committee in a letter of inquiry, and answers from the committee are published as court cases from time to time. Now next is standards. Codes will often refer to the standards. The codes will often refer to the standard, which are more specific documents giving the details on how a particular operation is to be carried out. These standards take into account number one is available technological levels, and number two is operational skills of the operators while laying down the requirement of the standards. To take an example with regard to manual ultrasonic testing, the test results depend greatly on the person's skill. Hence, the procedures for testing and the evaluation must be standardized in detail so that the test result will be least affected by difference in personal skills. As the name implies, standards. These standards attempt to attempt to standardize material or a specific activity such as testing and the inspection. The body making the standards takes into account the various industrial requirements and prepares the standards in such a way that a few standards would be enough for a large variety of industrial applications. The body making the standards takes into the account that the various industrial requirements and prepares the standards in such a way that a few standards would be enough for a large variety of the industrial application. So these courts in turn find it convenient to make use of these ready-made standard. For an example, an ultrasonic standard. An ultrasonic standard is a document which is issued by a standardizing organization to ensure the predictable results from an ultrasonic examination, which is no matter when, where, or how they conduct the examination. The main thing is that to understand the standardized organization to ensure the predictable result. Now coming to the various types of various type of organization, those entity standards are internationally used. So there are 7 standards for entity, those are used for internationally. Number 1 is ASME. The full form of ASME is American Society of Mechanical Engineers. Number 2 is ASTM. The full form of ASTM is the American Society for Testing Material. Number 3 is ANSI. The full form of ANSI is American National Standards Institute. Number 4 is BSI or British Standards Institution. Next one is DIN, which is a German standards organization. Number 6 is ISO. This is the International Standard Organization. And the number 7 is BIS, which is the Bureau of Indian Standards. So these 7 are the entity standards which is internationally used. So students, let's start with this ASM. The ASME, the full form of ASME is the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. The American Society of Mechanical Engineers. This is an American professional association. This is an American professional association that, in its own words, promotes the art, science, and practice of multidisciplinary engineering and allied science around the globe. So this ASME is an American professional association that, in its own word, that is, promotes the art, science, and practice of multidisciplinary engineering and allied sciences around the globe via continuing education, training, and professional development, codes and standards, research, conference and publications, government relation and other form of outreach. So this ASME is thus an engineering society, a standard organization, a research and a development organization, and advocacy organization, a provider of training and education, and a non-profit organization also. So basically ASME is an engineering society. Number one is engineering society. Number two, a standard organization. Number three, a research and a development organization. Number four is an advocacy organization. Number five, a provider of training and education. And last one is it is a non-profit organization. This is ASME is founded as an engineering society which is focused on the mechanical engineering in North America. This ASME is now today disciplinary and global. This ASME has over 110,000 members in more than 150 countries worldwide. This ASME was founded in the year of 1880 by Alexander Lehman Halley and Henry Husiter Washington and John Addison Sweet and Matthias N. Farney. So these four persons are in response to numerous steam boilers pressure vessel failure, and they are founded this ASME or the American Society of Mechanical Engineer in the year of 1880. It known for setting codes and standard for the mechanical devices. ASME conducts one of the world's largest technical publication operation, which holds numerous technical conferences and hundreds of professional development courses each year and sponsor numerous outreach and the educational program. Here is the picture which shows the logo of the ASME. This is the so student, this is the logo of ASME and code is setting the standard. Now coming to the next one. Next one is ASTM. The full form of ASTM is the American Society for Testing and Material. So student, this ASTM International, formerly known as the American Society for Testing and Material. This ASTM is an international standard organization. This ASTM is an international standards organization that develops and publishes the voluntary consensus technical standards for a wide range of materials, products, systems, and services. Some 12,575 ASTM voluntary consensus standards operate globally. This organization headquarters is in West Conshohocken. The organization headquarters is in the West Conshohocken. Pennsylvania, about the 5 mile or the 8 kilometer northwest of Philadelphia. This foundation is founded in the year of 1898 as an American Society of the International Association for Testing Material. This ASTM International predates other standard organizations such as BSI, DIN, ANSI, and ISO. And here is the big logo of ASTM. This is because of it is international, so its logo looks like this. Next is ANSI. The full form of ANSI is the American National Standards Institute, or ANSI or ANSI. It is a private and non-profit organization that oversees the development of voluntary consensus standards for the products, services, processes, systems, and the personnel in the United States. This ANSI is a private non-profit organization that oversees the development of voluntary consensus standards for the products, services, processes, systems, and the personnel in the United States or US. The organization also coordinates the US standard with the international standards so that the American product can be used worldwide. The ANSI accredits the standards that are developed by representative of other standard organization, government agency, consumer group, company, and the other. This ANSI accredits standards which are developed by the representatives of the other standards organization, government agency, consumer group, company, and the others. These standards ensure that the characteristics and the performance of products that are consistent, that people use the same definition and term, and that products are tested the same way. The ANSI also accredits the organization that carry out product or the personal certification in accordance with the requirement defined in international standard. The organization headquarters are in Washington, D.C. and the ANSI's operational office is located in New York City. The ANSI annual operating budget is funded by the sale of publication, membership dues and fees, accreditation services, fee-based program, and the international standard program. So here is the logo of ANSI. Next is BSI. BSI Group, also known as the British Standards Institution. This British Standard Institution is known as the BSI Group, which is the national standards body of the UK or United Kingdom. The BSI produces technical standards. BSI produces the technical standards on a wide range of products and services, and also supply the certification and standards related services to the business. So students, here is this is the logo of BSI or the British Standard Institution. Next is DIN. DIN is the German Institute for Standard, and its name is Dastes Institut für Normung in German, and in English language this is the German Institute for the Standardization. It is the German national organization. It is the German national organization for the standardization, and it is the German ISO member body. DIN is a German registered association headquartered in Berlin. There are currently around 30,000. There are currently around the 30,000 DIN standards covering nearly every field of the technology. Here is the logo of the DIN. Next is ISO. The full form of ISO is International Organization for Standardization. The ISO is an international standard setting body which is composed of representatives from the various national standards organizations. In contrast to many international organizations which utilize the British English form of spelling, the ISO uses English with Oxford spelling as one of its official languages, along with French and the Russian. This ISO is founded on 23rd February in the year of 1947. This organization promotes worldwide proprietary, industrial and the commercial standards. The headquarters is in Geneva, which is in Switzerland, and it works in 164 countries worldwide. It was one of the first organization. Which is granted generally consultative status with the United Nations Economic and the Social Council. So this is the one of the first organization which is granted from United Nations Economic and the Social Council. Here is the logo of ISO. Next is BIS. The BIS stands for Bureau of Indian Standards. This is the national standards body of India, which is working under the aegis of Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, which is under the Government of India. This is established by the Bureau of Indian Standards Act. This is established by the Bureau of the Indian Standards Act in the year of 1986, which came into effect on 23rd December of 1986. The minister in charge of the ministry or department having the administrative control of the BIS is the ex officio president of the BIS. The organization was formerly the Indian Standard Institution or ISI. So this organization was formerly the Indian Standard Institution or the ISI, which is set up under the resolution of the Department of Industry and the Supplies number 1 standard 4/45, which is dated 3rd September in the year of 1946. The ISI was registered under the Society Registration Act in the year of 1860. A new Bureau of Indian Standard or BIS Act 2016, which was notified on 22nd March 2016, has been brought into force with the effect from 12th October 2017. The Act established the Bureau of Indian Standard or the BIS as the national standards body of the India. As a corporate body, it has 25 members drawn from the central or state government, industry, scientific and research institution and the consumer organization. Its headquarters are in New Delhi with the regional office in Eastern region at Kolkata, South region at Chennai, Western region at Mumbai, Northern region at Chandigarh and the Central region at Delhi, and it has the 20 branch offices all over the India. Here is the logo of BIS, that is the Bureau of Indian Standard, and this is the logo of ISI, Indian Standard Institution. Now coming to the ISI, the full form of ISI is the Indian Standard Institution. The ISI mark is a standard compliance mark for industrial product in India since 1955. The mark certifies that a product conformed to an Indian standard or IS, which is developed by the Bureau of Indian Standard or BIS, which is the national standard body of the India. The ISI mark is by far the most recognized certification mark in the Indian subcontinent. The ISI is an initialism of Indian Standard Institution, which is the name of the national standard body until 1st January of 1987, when it was renamed to the Bureau of Indian Standards or BIS. The ISI mark is mandatory for certain products to be sold in India, such as many of the electrical appliances like switches, electric motor, wiring cable, heater, kitchen appliances, etc. and the other products like the Portland cement, LPG valve, LPG cylinder, automotive tire, etc. In the case of the most other products, ISI marks are optional. Here is the logo of the ISI. So students, from the today's class, we understand about the codes and the standards, and then we study on the various type of standards those which are used in internationally and their founded year on the headquarters, etc. So from the next class we'll discuss the second part of this topic. So till then, stay at home and stay safe. Thank you so much class.